Academy side. So I'm excited to see how well he'll be able to fit into the mold. You're right about that. Cohesion might be a bit of a concern, but I don't think a major concern for Monte. Again, I think they're going to be relying a lot on the firepower, particularly from the AWP players, because we've got 3 of them on this lineup.
We do indeed. Joel used to be a main AWPer when he played on Flowsuka and for GXR. We know that he's a very good hybrid player. Same for Red Star. Expect a lot of AWPing to come through from Monte on Dust2 today.
Potentially some versatility if they try to bring out the double AWP setups, but those are for a little bit later on during this matchup. For now, we're ready to jump into the pistol round. USPs and Glocks up against each other. One P250 has been brought in by Rory. You can probably expect him to be the main AWPer for this lineup. So lean forward initially, take contact up against Qikert all the way in the back of the A site. Some tag damage being done to Red Star. Not much success on this P250 yet.
You can see what Monte are trying to achieve is a bait setup. Show some long control and get the CTs to get aggressive towards those lower tunnels. You've got both Fessor and DemQQ right back out there from T-Spawn, but there's not really much aggression outside of Norbert at short.
Jame looking up towards that mid control above the smokes. Not spotting anything for right now. Monte are playing a pretty passive kind of T-side. Expect this out of outsiders. Monte might match them on that pace.
You've got to imagine here for Monte, a crunch down towards this mid control is going to be vital. Just spotting a little bit of information towards that left-hand side, and Norbert's going to drop.
First blood drawn out by Warro. Felt like it was the lower tunnels player that was going to get that kill, but the P250 striking with a bit of combination. Crossfire locked, and now Jame and Qikert look to try and hold down the A site. Taps to that USP, spotting 2-3 players roughly. Smoke can come down to suppress them as much as they can. Flit has caught a kill on Red Stars. Qikert is still hunting blind, desperate to get a trade back at this 4-on-4 situation. Joel's being marked by Jame for now, but Kikert's going to drop as Flit goes down to Festival. Joel will pick up the pieces towards Long, and Fame will not last long himself. It's the pistol for Monte.
There we go, a bit of a statement in from Monte, allowing themselves to take control of that short area, get themselves up to the A side. You saw that distraction, very awkward for both Joel and for Jame out there from the blue bin and towards that long quarter, but it pulls time. It gets the CTs off of A, allows them to take that side control, and look at the way that rather than just getting the bomb down open for short, they start taking ramp, applying that pressure down towards the CTs, really capitalizing on those opening picks, and Monte gets started with the pistol rounds.
Straight into the force invest, of course, for the outsiders camp. Scouts in for both teams as Red Star and Jame take the mantle of the early snipers. AKs from 3 other players from Monte, so a lot of firepower to play with in this round.
We've seen Fessor play Dust2 twice with the Monte side since helping them out in the last few officials. Try and get some more under his belt. Monte not deciding to bring any SMGs forward. They want to really make sure that this conversion comes through. The last thing they want to achieve is a reset and to go back and forth with outsiders.
3 players to meet them over here towards the A site. Full 5-man force of Monte looking for a bit of contact. Utility is throwing down to try and force them away as they do start to take a bit more control on the other side of the map, particularly in that tunnel's position. The smoke's coming down should indicate what the hit's going to be.
James got to really land some damage, get some tag shots off, allow himself to fall back. You can see Monte just trying to walk up towards a long control, engage short range with these rifles.
Players that are ready for Qikert. Players close and long. Nice lob forward. Should do some damage to Fessor, but ultimately not a major amount. DemQQ is fought out the kill against the man. Looking for Flit and Norbert on the center of the site. Norbert will get picked up. Flit there with the turnaround, and Joel will be able to respond on 2. So nothing really major lost for the Monte side. The Galil can pick up the AK, and this should be a 2-0 start for the T side.
And if we wanted to compare experience, Jay, we've got 2 players on the outsider side of Qikert and Jame who's attended 7 RMRs and 5 majors, whereas you look at Monte, Joel and Fessor's never even played at an RMR. That's just kind of outlying some of the respects, right, of what we understand from this Monte team. Joel in particular has only ever played at 1 LAN event. That was a local Swedish LAN at the end of 2020. 5 maps on record on LAN for Joel in his entire career.
Arguably the least experienced player in server right now. Still going to try and utilize that to some manner of success here. 2-0 start for the Monte side. It is not quite limiting them at this moment. Again, very basic stuff to deal with the anti-force buy. Should be a harsh eco coming in from the outsiders. So the start should, again, flow the way of the T side pretty effectively. Nothing major again being brought down. Just that 5-7 from the last round.
Yeah, we saw how much success Warrior 2K and Red Star was able to find towards the X of the tenure of the X-Mad lines. A couple of very strong tournament victories in the Tier 2 atmosphere. They'll start regrouping, dealing with this Monte side. Only been together for about 3 months as of right now.
And very new team by comparison to outsiders. The core for a long time prior. So far, so good again from the Monte side. She better make this a 3-0 start. Outsiders playing a bit more of a standard defensive style rather than stacking up a bomb site or anything. Not going too aggressive either. Happy to sit back in the CT spawn and wait for Monte to make a move.
And we saw Monte coming through from the second open qualifier, taking on Endpoint in the quarterfinal, which was the best of 3 qualification game. Boris up against his ex-teammates in that one, getting the 2-0 victory. And now focusing their attention here at the RMR. Warrior 2K just pulling more of attention and distraction out towards long. There is an A-stack involved for Outsiders.
Burst and taps initially. Leaning forward, a jump face from one individual might become a bit of a problem here for the T's because we'll have to peek into another individual for it. Smokes off car, does isolate someone, leads one individual out towards this CT spawn. Fame actually comes up with 2 good kills on a 5-7. AK now in his hands and his teammates start to drop. He is tapping heads, getting a triple, but no more than that. Decent damage done by the Outsiders in that round though.
They've got to be happy with that one. That's an expensive sort of round. Takes a lot of weapons out of play. And for Monte, they realized themselves got a little bit scrappy. We saw those close range engagements. We maybe gave too much space away around from Fame inside of that smoke and working around the utility. Outsiders getting 3 picks, now looking to capitalize. AWP coming through from Warro, same as Jame.
Big greens out. Primary AWP boosted up initially towards Suicide. Trying to spot players past that mid door, but the nade's in the way. Plume of smoke disallows any real vision for Warro to take a shot. At best, guessing against Jame and his quick smokes to try and look into the lower tunnels. Won't be able to spot anything as of right now. Monte are playing away from that position. They suspect that he might be down there.
Jame just backing off. Monte very slow and passive on the T side, and like you mentioned only a few rounds ago, Jay, very similar to the style of gameplay that we're going to expect from Outsiders come the second half. We know that Dust2 is played a lot here for Monte. It's their 3rd highest map in the pool for them right now. 5 wins and 4 losses in recent history. Jame keeping his eyes locked towards those lower tunnels, not seeing anything. Instead, for Monte, seems like they want to start retaking some of the long control.
Got Norma to deal if they want to do that, though. Utility send down towards short, and the flashes in towards mid will allow a little bit of control for Fessor, perhaps. Even that will chase the CTs back onto the center of the site. Long will now look to at least be a point of contention. 2 players are there in the house, waiting for the smoke to clear up. Looks to be an A-split for me.
Got to be a flash over the top, or at least a jiggle to try and force the off-buff angle. It's actually dry out towards this long position. Norbert gets away with 1, but instant trade from Red Star.
James still watching and waiting. Flashes will come over. He tries to avoid them. Incendiary send, but Fessor ahead of the game. Qikert forced to strike, and Jame will be able to get his kill. Joel with 1 responsive, but a 3-on-2 favors the Outsiders. The bomb dropped on short. Red Star's got 2 to pick up. Missing his bullets. His spray is going all over the place. 20 seconds, and Joel needs to back him up. Will be able to get Fame. Grab that bomb. But now it's a mad dash into the center of the A site, and James AWP is ready to receive them. Backed out towards long. In at elbow. Connects on Joel. Drops that bomb. That nade towards Red Star won't deny him. He'll sneak in the bomb plant, or not, in fact. Flip quick to make his way around from the short control, and that will be the opener for the Outsiders.
I just felt the pressure really building there for Monte. Bit of panic in that 2 versus 2. They've done well to deal with that lower tunnels entity. They want to get back up to A. They've actually got some utility between one another. They've got a smoke down for their elbow position, but it just gets a little bit quick. They want to get up towards a bomb site, get that bomb down straight away, and that's where Jame, up on that car position, is just able to take the quick shot onto Joel, end up falling back, wait for his teammate to swing up from short, and this allows Outsiders to make their first round possible.
Early tactical utilized here by the Outsiders. A moment's respite in just the first 5 rounds. That opening round, of course, coming in pretty nice and confidently for the most part. Took a lot of damage for it. I guess they're probably looking to try and restabilize the economy's sake. Monte on the verge of reset and have a bit of a buyback of their own. The damage sustained in the previous eco, though, might leave them limited. You can see those 2 deagles. I'm not sure if there were any weapons dropped in spawn. And those 3 rifles on Joel, Warro, and DemQQ to be the main damage dealers here for Monte.
Oh, we know that Outsiders are strong in best of 1s, winning 13 out of 20 so far this year. Trying to see if they can make it 14. Warro looking for that mid pick, but with the HE spray coming in, they won't be able to see anything. For Monte, I start wondering to myself, Jay, when are we going to get that aggression? That one quick turnaround, the slight acceleration of movement that comes through in the first sort of 20-25 seconds of the round.
Well, so far, so slow, so I don't think you can bank on that as of right now. Maybe that might change up as the situation gets a bit more dire. For them, they can continue playing out this style of Counter-Strike because it has worked for the most part. 3 out of 4 rounds taken by Monte thus far. Jame Oh, seeing that notch smoke getting missed out will now know that he can reposition and look up the short.
Try and see if he can take a short player down. There'll be some util to come through from the cross. Flash goes in. They don't actually explode through the smoke. Instead, try and get up to Xbox.
You that flashbang, you don't know what they're going to go for. Is it a case of a rush or is it a case of map control? In this case, it's the latter. Monte continuing to press the issue and try and set up towards the A play once again, but that bomb's still stuck in tunnels.
Professor still back here, trying to draw out as much of that counter utility as possible. And this is starting to shape up for a mid to B split. Warrior2k does show the bomb and at least some counter action in the upper tunnels.
Shots ringing out. Blocked off on vision as he rotates away to try and join his teammate. Set up for the execution from short this time. No split involved. James Orp be watching back over at ramp. Eyes set with a bit of cover. 30 seconds for Monte to make that move in. They've got a bit of util. Smokes and flashes will go out. Jame will catch none of those flashes, it seems like. None of them actually being thrown. DemQQ still got two. Finally, one goes out. Catches nobody. The Orb can take his shot, but miss it. Norbert is dealt with. But Qikert and Jame quick to the responsive. 4v3 for the outsiders. Bomb trying to get towards the short boxes. Jame going to try and deny it. Spotting Red Star, seeing his shoulder, seeing his head, and eventually connecting his kill. Now down to two of Monte.
Warrior2k trying to see if he can get the trade back into the action, but the CTs are everywhere. DemQQ up onto the bomb site has got CTs all around. The boost up for Jame. The AWP gets seen, and DemQQ has to keep fighting. Out to the left-hand side, they line up for a moment, but not quite the clutch overall. Monte not being able to put enough pressure down onto Jame. You can see Red Star. He knows if he gets that frag, different situation. But because he falls, fighting that AWP towards ramp, things get out of hand, and the trades just aren't there for Monte.
A great 2-for-1 responsive initially to the execution, and then from there it all kind of fell apart for the T side. Monte now reduced to the half buy. No money left in the bank for them. Committed a lot to that previous. Can at least get the scout on Warro here, so there is a little bit more. And actually an AK coming in for DemQQ, so a bit more of a double hero rifle set up around a half buy in general. I don't know if you can call it double hero because Warro's still on a little over $1,000. DemQQ with the firepower regardless has forced the issue into this round. We'll try and press up here towards the long control. It's going to meet the CT utility, but no CT players.
That HE placement's very good. Down to 50 now for DemQQ. But it is information that none of those CTs have got out to the pit control, so he can focus his attention down onto the corner. And Jay, you feeling anything spicy here? There's Deagles, and it's Monte.
I mean, it's been a slow round to start, so I'm not feeling anything yet. But I'm going to hold out my reservations until we see action go down here. Outsiders, again, playing a big old no man's land between them and the T-side line. The work forward of Joel in towards that long control, seeing very little of the CTs, and our main T-side force will stack up towards short. So, again, it seems to be the A-play.
Outside is very familiar with Dust2 when it comes to RMRs. You think back to Antwerp, they played Dust2 against Unique and Big in the opening couple of games. Monte trying to get as much out of the short take as possible. At least there's some opening damage.
Good scout shot on Norbert, but Norbert instant incendiary responsive. Doesn't look like it will stop the T's, just slow them down though.
Jame realizes that they haven't fallen off of this completely. HE placement's good.
Damage on 3 individuals, and the HP bars in general look dire for the T-side. Bomb dropped, nice and effective there from Qikert. Continuing to burst fire on Red Star next. Norbert watching long control, and Joel does get his Deagle shot in, but with that secondary kill from Qikert, the bomb's been dropped in CT spawn. Monte don't have time for this.
Just got to keep fighting, hope that they can force some of these players off. Look for the kills.
Well, Jame responds to Joel, though. Warro with only one headshot. DemQQ forced into Qikert, who drops that bomb even closer in CT spawn. Fames for Mars, frags out on Warro, and that's a 3-all.
And this is Outsiders starting to take the fight onto Monte, just playing that disciplined counter-strike, and you could just feel as soon as that bomb gets dropped out in the open towards CT spawn, that's the round over. Monte can't recover it from that point onwards. They did opening damage with those Deagles towards the site directly, but no more than that. 3-3, Outsiders looking to try and take a lead.
An effective response to the pistol and conversions that Monte got. Again, Deagles and Scouts are in play for this round. For the half buy-in from the Monte side. 4 players all the way already in tunnels. Flame's going to fire against them past that smoke. No quick play still.
Interesting approach there from Monte. So they went for a half buy in the last round and a half buy again rather than that hard eco to get in for the buy in round 7. They've opted for the double. Jame, not really too aggressive with that AWP, just prodding for some early information, but ending up falling back towards the top of short.
And again, Monte taking mid control in the tunnels position. We're leaning in over at tunnels initially. It looked like it was going to finally be another B play, but Hearts definitely sit on the A side with a vast and overwhelming majority. I think all the hits so far have been towards A for Monte. James up. Ready to receive them. Moro scout. Not even going to take first face. DemQQ sacrifices himself and gives up the advantage.
James' consistency's been key, and look at this information play now for Outsiders. They've got to pick towards that A side. You now got Fame slow walking, starting to take some of the map control away, and this allows further presence to be applied and even more of a stack over to A.
Backs are all turned here to the tunnel's entrance, so Fame's only a matter of time before he can capitalize upon it. I think they're deep enough in short to where we can't get the headshots easy, and the two players that were on catwalk have rotated back towards long. Norbert's seen one, gets Red Star, all-important kill now to 5 versus 3. Joel not quite seen those nades, though, doing damage against the two T-side players out there in the smoke. Qikert with his 1 kill, second player spotted at the edge of it. And Joel will try his best to hold on, but in a 1 versus 5, the best he can do is just the exit frags. And he won't even get many of those. James shuts him down. It's a 4th to the board of the Outsiders, and indeed a lead for the CT side.
And sometimes the conversation with some of these Tier 1 teams is, oh, we haven't seen these guys before, we're not familiar with it. You can't say that for guys like Norbert and Fame out on Outsiders. You've got to think for years, down in Tier 2 on SG Pro, on K23, on Simon, for those two guys respectively, they would have played so many officials against Warrior 2K, Red Star, Joel, DemQQ, Fessa, all big names in the Tier 2 atmosphere.
Certainly having a decent knowledge of their tendencies from back then. How many of those bad habits retained over is the big question for those two individuals. Most of the newest additions to the Outsiders been around for a number of months now, so having that moment to settle in. Monte pressing the AKs forward into the long control again, leaning to that A side. I wonder when B is going to be a call here. I think they might need to change something up in that sort of fashion. Jame, however, makes the first mistake of this round.
One thing we've noticed from Monte is that because they haven't even left a lurk in towards the upper tunnels, this is 2 rounds in a row now. The Outsiders have made info plays. They're stacking up on A. They've got a complete 4-man hold right now.
Given how many times they've hit the A site, I think the Outsiders are aware of this and just making the right prediction again with the information play. Waro sees the head, elbow the flip, gets the kill. Qikert unknown up close, gets Red Star back in a 4-on-3. That nade catches Joel and does damage to DemQQ. Nice and effective from the CT side, locking out Monte from even taking the full extent of long. 2-on-4, swung upon even more. Norbert takes his own teammate down, but gets a triple in the end to reduce Monte to nothing. 5-3 to the CT board.
And I want to see a tactical here from Monte. I want to see them hit them hard, and I want to see some more aggression, because it feels as if perhaps they're losing their identity a little bit here. You've got to imagine the players that you're working with on here from Monte. If you want to surprise, if you want to upset, if you want to take these fights to the Tier 1 oppositions, you've got to be confident. You've got to be up there close and personal, and we haven't quite seen that on the T side from them just yet.
Half investment again from the Monte side. AK of Qikert ready to receive them already. Flashed in initially, looking out towards the top of the catwalk. Sees 2, spray through. Red Star does get his pick back, so that's a start again for the Monte side. It didn't mean much, and look at Fit in the midst of this smoke will challenge Waro and take out the backline of the T-side forces. Norbert receiving very fast aggression from the Ts. They bring it back to a 3-on-3. Should be able to get the bomb plant for it.
There we go. This is what I'm talking about, and this is super winnable. 3v3, you got the bomb down and an AK in the hands of Red Star. He can make magic happen.
Lip making his move into the backlines, though. In at long, Fessel with a quick swing and a hit from the Tech 9. 3-on-2. Now favoring Monte as Fame and Jame try and work their way into the A site. CT in short. Fame's made his way all the way up short here now, just basically having access to the site itself. But 2 players ready to swing, get their kill, leaving Jame alone to save.
AWP is going to get hunted down. You can see the player drop down into CT spawn, try to hold on to that or fling it back over towards that B side. And for Monte, they crack it open. They end the streak, and it's down onto one of these half-buy rounds.
You said you wanted some pace, and there you go. Monte finding a lot of success for it and stuck in a bit of a stalemate with a number of times they've lost out on that A side. Good shot from Jame, at least gets Red Star, so doesn't let them get away with the full extent of the rifles on the core 3. But an M4 and an AK basically for free means that Monte have made a pretty successful half-buy here.
They've got to be happy with what they achieved. Jame just looking for some of that exit damage to keep the AWP in play. Outsiders. We saw last time around when it came to the RMR at Antwerp, it was a little bit of a struggle to get it over the line to the major. Went down 1-2, ended up winning a couple of best of 3s in a row. Monte have not seen them here before, and even a couple of players debuting.
Opportunity to prove themselves here on one of the biggest stages they'll get. Coming out towards that mid control again, leading the charge is Red Star. Bomb on his back. Monte love playing his mid defaults and eventually deciding to go towards the A site, either full blown towards short or the split in from long. But this time it's a walk through the doors, looking at CT. Qikert gets caught off guard, and now the CTs on both sides are isolated. Smoke's going down towards CT spawn, indicating there's going to be some sort of B play, pulling Norbert away from the A defensive. Can he get to the backstab in time? He might not even bother. It might all rest on Jame, but Norbert comes up good only for the position, not for the frag. Joel reduces them to 3, and Jame is desperate to hunt for at least a trade back against Red Star. Won't see him past the smoke.
What an excellent round that was from Monte. And it does feel as if a lot of their approaches on T-side is pack heavy, isn't it, Jay? Working together as a 5-man rather than spreading out across the map. That's a dry contact. You walk your way forward towards mid, you get down towards CT spawn, crack a kill, and you fake you're going to run into B very quickly from mid. Instead, the counter action is there. You got Joel watching for top mid in case there's a wraparound play out from Longhouse. They start shifting that bomb up to short into A. Very good mid-round call there for Monte, and Outsiders, they just got pulled really hard on the fake.
And got caught assuming this time. Norbert, a little bit too late to act into towards that mid control, had hesitations as whether he should leave that A site and ultimately lost his team the round for it. But all down to Monte and their explosion out towards mid. Catching Outsiders was something they haven't done so far in this map up. Forcing out even standings on that board. 5-5 and a tactical pause. The second one called by the Outsiders here.
And people might remember Outsiders once upon a time of when they were a Vanguard. And funny enough, the coach of Monte, of Krisen, played with guys like Qikert and of Jame for about 1.5 to 2 years respectively. Went to majors with them, went to a lot of tier 1 events with them. So now you've got button heads. You've got Krisen going into a coach role here for Monte up against his ex-teammates.
Bit of grudge match in there, I guess.
Even Warro and Flit played together on Forza for a couple of months.
All intertwined. Bit of a battle of tier 2, I guess you could say.
Definitely so.
Guns in, the FAMAS out for Norbert and Fame. The M4s, the AWP will still see the buyback from Outsiders. Losing that last round, but having enough in the save to go for another investment. So the money's been whittled down for them, though, and also the economy line's a little bit shaky for Monte. High rollers on a couple individuals, but could easily be wiped out with a good round from the Outsiders. Quick plays up into the tunnels. Much more heavy tunnels presence from the CT side this time, and virtually nothing towards long.
It's just always shown here for Monte. Play as a 5-man unit, be there for the trades and for any sort of backstab attempts. But it's for Outsiders again. This is the 3rd or 4th time they've made a massive info play and can now stack up at the A bomb site because of it.
We'll leave one of Fame down there in the tunnels just to ensure that nobody goes for a rotation on Monte's part. Shouldn't expect that, though, considering how many times we've seen them hit A. Smokes ahead, flash forward, perfect lineup for Qikert, getting himself a double, not quite the triple. DemQQ with a trade, but it's an advantage for Outsiders regardless, and it stalls Monte again.
Norbert just trying to play up and close to the smoke. Monte slow it right down. Actually want to try and waste the clock ever so slightly.
Smokes, second wave coming in to try and block off some sort of control, get themselves set up. Is watching, sees one, takes his shot, is baited. Joel boosted up to the 3-on-3, getting Norbert to drop. Flashes going over, Flit keeping his head tucked away, looking for Joel, gets that kill. All important with Jame providing backup. It's also Warro now with 30 seconds and a 1-on-3. Clutches AWP with a ton of work to do. Sees the head of the first, gives up info to the other 2, and Flit will shut him down.
You could start feeling that Norbert got quite comfortable up there towards the A site, pulling that distraction away, allowing Jame with the AWP to be on the crossfire. And for Monte, they slow it down. They try and get the cross smokes back in again, start to see if they can work that ramp control back up to A, but it just doesn't happen. They can't force the AWP off. That was a great pop flash coming through from Qikert, just to peek around the corner to get a multi-frag, and then, of course, just to set up the last couple of individuals.
Advantage Outsiders once again. Monte not allowed to usurp them. Guns back in with the cash amount still affording a buyback. Won't be able to afford one for the next round, though. Maybe a hero rifle for Professor if he wants to commit to that. Gotta focus on the round for the time being. 2 AKs and the AWP out for Outsiders. A lot of firepower for the CTs to play with.
We know that for Monte, they average a 45.2 round win percentage on the T side of Dust2 in the last 3 months. So any more than 6+ rounds would be looked at as an achievement and give themselves some wiggle room to establish a bit of a comeback come the second half. Warrior 2K with the AWP up towards top mid. Haven't seen a massive amount of AWPing prowess and success when it comes to the AWP so far.
Jame will get forced back on his own right. Been a bit more successful than Warrior with his AWP. Try and look to extend his kill counts even further. Fessor caught first casualty.
Just a dry peek out from mid. No notch smoke that time around. And now for Monte, they don't have any of that long control, which means that Norbert can start making a slight info play, jiggle around the corner. More counter utility towards short allows Qikert to get aggressive.
Spraying close towards Joel, but Joel sprayed back through the smoke, gets the headshot, and that's enough for the 4-on-4. The kill getting found. Backs are turned as the CTs re-engage, and Jame will get a 2K. Man advantage re-established for the outsiders. Will post himself back up towards top long, wait for backup to arrive, and DemQQ will take that chance to equalize.
No utility on the post plan at all here for Monte, and no long control. They're going to have to try and see if they can fight Warrior somehow.
Warrior dipping in, might give him that chance, and indeed the headshot goes the way of Jame. Back to Red Star as he's the last man standing. The AWP back in his hands, 1-on-3 situation, unscopes at the wrong moment, can turn on one, but burns to a crisp. Outsiders will extend the lead.
Decent effort there from Red Star just to try and make that possible. You could see the way that he's trying to scope around the corner, look to long, look to short. Being forced out from that incendiary is always going to be a tough one. And for Joel, you thought that diving down towards that elevator position and giving himself almost the dip up against the AWP might have been enough, but Jame, his consistency has been tip-top for outsiders and has been leading the success for the majority of this first half.
Majority of tacticals called in for the outsiders in this first half as well. 3 out of 4. Still holding their lead, but still Monte are applying that pressure and are not letting them go without a fight. This could carry on. This could keep on just back and forth bouncing. Economical situation might get worse throughout the rest of the half. Verge of reset stuff with Monte, of course, building upon the economy with the bomb plant bonus. Right now putting all their faith in their top fragger of Joel. 12 kills at this moment. But 2 players on the outsiders out, matching him at 11 apiece.
Considering that Joel is one of the least experienced players in the entire RMR A and B, to see him 12-8 up against a strong outsiders team is a good sign moving forward. It's whether he can find more to help the team out. Long control quick this time around for Monte.
Flashes forward with Joel leaning forward first and foremost, sees the player over a car, will try and engage with the headshots, panicking a little bit, can't quite find the angle. Second CT might swing out wide to try to join him and provide backup covering fire. Norbert will get Molotov back away. The AWP also looking for the picks against him. And might think that he's escaped in the IRA position, but now he leans out, revealing himself in the gap on the smokes, and fire just continues to come down against him. Bullets flying into car. No escape for Norbert now, it seems.
It doesn't say that at all, does it? It means he has to just keep fighting, and they know that he's still there. They're going to start raining the bullets in. Instead, they can set a molly up towards that car position, and they might even expect some CT aggression towards top mid now.
Molotov using that smoke. Great flash and escape. He gets out of there in the end. Falling back to the site itself as outsiders believe it might end up being the A play again. They're all stacked up as Monte have gone for the hard rotate back towards the B side. They might get this clean and easy with the smoke, especially from Warrior, pulling distraction, ensuring they do not move from this A site control.
Well, it only took 13 rounds to see some B presence finally. And now with the time being stalled, you can get the idea that Fame's going to go back into mid, think about moving over to the B side, but they've just gone A so many times. Oh, that re-smoke, that's good. I reckon Monte have to go.
Flashes in, they're going to commit towards it. They could have already gained the A site had they rushed it down. They were being a bit more cautious though. Fame with his kill on Red Star. Joel with a quick responsive. Bomb should get picked up and planted. And the backstab, the rotations in from middle get cut off by Warro. He can't quite land his first shot. 2 more players inbound from short. Knowing that he's not watching it, they can swing, he'll miss. And Norbert gets the kill. The retakes on real quick as well. The bomb even gets denied. Fessor, a kill back onto Flint, maintains it at a 3-on-2 advantage for the outsiders. But 10 seconds left to get this bomb down. DemQQ's got to commit towards it. And Norbert's backstab has worked out in tunnels. Qikert swings in from the doors, and Monte don't even get a bomb plant with a free B site.
I don't know how they didn't get that bomb plant, Jay. That took so long to get the bomb planted. Whether they were trying to fake it and draw the fights out towards the open, you've got to get it down in that situation. And even for Warro, the hesitation towards top mid, of looking down in towards the mid doors, out towards right-hand side of the short control, he doesn't find anything, can't cut those rotates off. This kill happened at about 28 seconds on the clock, and the bomb still doesn't get planted. Too much time wasting there for Monte, and it's going to cost them big time.
Jame opens things up with the AWP here for the CTs. Monte need a response quick, and Fessel almost found it with a double spray. Only got a single kill, and Jame can follow up on Joel to make it a 4-on-2 for the Outsiders. This round has capitulated in an instant for Monte. DemQQ may even get caught off by Flit. He has seen that gun barrel, unawares of exactly where he's repositioned towards. And Flit's watching that position, should see the smoke down. The player's going to make his way out and win that fight.
And now they have to think about, do they continue the pace, continue diving down towards mid, wrap around into the B site? They're going to halt for a moment. They've got a molly and a smoke to work with, but it's time stalling again. And this is where Outsiders have been so clinical, is in the mid and late round where they put the appliance of the damage on.
All favourable here to the Outsiders. Red Star and DemQQ start creeping forward, start prodding towards that B site once again. CTs will leave that open and go for a retake if necessary. It worked out pretty well for them in the last round, so can't blame them for making that call. Noise will be made, smokes will get sent, so they are aware of what's going on. They've already surrounded the tunnels, so the bomb will go down, and the retake is on.
DemQQ's got to try and take this fight immediately towards the upper tunnels and put pressure onto the AWP.
Spotted the player over at window instead. Took that shot back to spray through, and now forcing him off angle. The incendiary does come down out through the tunnels. The players will now be seen, and counterfire comes in from the CT side. Red Star forced to act out towards the CT spawn position. Gets the kill on Fame. Sees exactly where Jame is, but James Orb just does him one better. 14 for him as he takes top frag and takes the round for the Outsiders.
Red Star did absolutely everything in that round. I think he played that to perfection, but just got caught on the timing. You can see the way he wants to take the fight onto Jame. Get up there towards the window, catch him off at the doors, and what happens? Jame just walks through, just catches that slight window of opportunity. And my goodness, how many times have we been seeing Jame close a round down? 14 kills and 5 deaths. He has been ruthless for this Outsider side, and Monte just don't have the goods to deal with him.
Going into the last round of the half, Outsiders looking on for the 10-5, considering their confidence. Monte, again, will try challenging along a bit faster pace. A lot more utility thrown down from both sides, flashes, smokes, and incendiaries. But again, Outsiders will back up passive and let Flit take the aggression.
Info play again, getting right up towards top mid, and this is the downfall and the negative side to a pack-heavy setup on T-side of Dust2, is that there's all these info plays available for Outsiders.
Mollies and flashes in against the CTs. Monte unawares of how much they've lost to the map control. You are seeing Flit back away into the short position. Fame's going to look towards tunnels and recognize that, again, there's nobody on this B half of the map. Nades in to counteract. The smokes are coming down, though. Monte set up for the hit.
Qikert applying that boost up to Jame, allow himself to get around that elbow position, Qikert with a spam.
Oh, straight for the smoke, gets so much damage and a kill. Vessel catches him on the reload, but Jame provides some backup and keeps his teammate alive. 5-on-3, DemQQ overwhelmed by Flit. Next, Joel drops to the man. Double up, triple spray, not quite landed, but Warrior in a 1-on-5 has got everything to do right here. Not even seeing the CT past the smoke, and indeed, it will be a 10-5 half for the Outsiders.
That is an unbelievable half. And to think that it was a 3-0 start coming through from Monte, you wonder whether that's going to be enough. 5 rounds gained. We'll see after the break.
Well, it was difficult at times for the Outsiders over the course of the first half. A 10-5 scoreline indicates otherwise, Dwayne. They still hold dominion over Monte as we look towards the CT side for the internationals here. So what can we expect now as we move to their defensive half?
Well, you've got to imagine we need to see more out of some of the riflers. You can't be having DemQQ being the second highest rated player on this team when it comes to the first half. We've got to see more from Fessel, got to see more from Woro and Red Star come the second half, and the only way to do that is to get started on the pistol.
Well, my big concern is Woro still sitting at 4 frags. We hyped him up as being one of those main AWPers that you can rely on, but the transition to this LAN has not been great for him. It's Fessel that takes the leading charge for Monte up into the mid position. James watching it, but not now. They're all in long here for the Outsiders.
Red Star's just going to have to play back passive. Search for some information, take a contact and try and fall back to elbow or out towards short and set up that backstab in top mid.
Instant contact, saw a pixel and fell back towards the short box as his teammates start to make their move up towards mid. Smokes down, DemQQ firing blind, running and gunning, desperate to just catch a tag and let alone a kill. Qikert reacts towards Woro, who gets his 5th frag of the game. First blood drawn out by Monte, and he's looking in for a little bit more. Jame puts him away, looks for Fessor next, but Red Star catches Norbert on the site. Man advantage for Monte right here on this retake. The bomb has gone down, and Jame, desperate to put that P250 to a double. Not quite the triple, gets a chance to reload as Joel gets challenged, and Jame makes it that triple. Flit engaging onto DemQQ, and Red Star caught out in the open. A 1-on-3, up on shore, less than half HP, now less than 30 and 20, but those 2 headshots coming quick and fast. 1-on-1, looking for Jame! Oh, he's caught it as well! No kit in play, though. I don't think he'll have the round. It was a stunning 1v3 situation, but it is a pistol for the Outsiders.
Oh, mate, that's heartbreak. If he had a kit, you can see the potential, but just no time. He was banging headshots down onto that retaking scenario, but not to be. A glimpse there of Red Star of what is yet to come for this entirety of the RMR, but not to be. Jame with this P250 and the time wasting he was able to fire towards long.
Those headshots were so crispy. Beautiful stuff from Red Star, and it's just such a shame to see it go down like that and still not get the round. Outsiders instantly in with a gun by Red Star, rightfully buying an M4 into this force-up. It's a big pistol for the Outsiders to take, and Monte know that.
And Monte know that they need to respond right now with this force-up. Try and get the M4 into an aggressive position. Look at where Red Star's playing around. Across from that Xbox smoke right up there towards top mid, because he knows I need to get a frag, give ourselves an opening advantage.
Got initially Woro. Scouts eyes set in from that mid position. You've got Red Star's M4 that tries to press forward as well. Trying to engage against the backstab and beat a gamble linchpin that might pay off for Monte. They're going to need something like that to try and make this round work out for them. Counter reset the Outsiders, but being watched by Flit here.
And the matter of timing seems to be pretty good for Flit. It all comes down to when Red Star starts to peek, and Flit just catches him on the edge of the door.
Fessor can see Fame just peeking out below that smoke. Couldn't line up the headshot though. Covered off by Vision. Flick strikes back towards mid. Joel picked up. DemQQ almost picked up. Woro taking tag damage as well. Both players held out towards mid, means the bomb can cross safely. And there should be nothing standing in the Outsiders' way for round 12.
Gotta imagine so. Even Fame getting in such an aggressive position down there from spawn, trying to take these weapons out of play, because Outsiders know we dropped these last couple of individuals. There's nothing for Monte to work with in the next round.
Fame picking up Woro, 1-on-5 for DemQQ. Maybe an exit frag, maybe a little something in the rifle game. Couldn't see that M4 falling into his hands. Dropped too far away from him, and Flit will make it all 5 alive anyway. 12-5, the Outsiders with another wonderful start here. Even the pistol not going the way of Monte like it did in the first half. We might start to see this one become a bit more of a one-sided game for the Outsiders here. Eco pistols inbound for Monte, so at least we're looking at a 13-5. It's that last rifle round, that round 19, that I think is going to be the most important thing, the do-or-die round for the CT side.
It's definitely been an underwhelming performance from Monte. We know they've been boot camping for the last couple of weeks in Malta. You think about the idea of taking the fight against an Outsiders in this sort of draw. You've already got yourself 3-0 up. You may be expecting a bit more of a fight. Anti-eco could get cleaned up pretty easily. The only pick going out towards a blue bin, and Flit just making sure that none of them can get over to that rifle from Fame.
And we're asking the question whether Monte can convert their Tier 2 successes into the Tier 1 environment, and unfortunately it seems like right now the answer to that question is no. Not against the outsiders at least, or at least makes a kill happen onto James. That's something gained. But nothing major here, not even the rifle staying in for the next round. So 13-5. The buy-ups will see the guns in from Monte with what will be their last stand, their last chance to make something happen here on Dust2. But the outsiders have outclassed them, especially in these opening few of the second half.
And I start wondering, having the general idea of, are they missing Boris? He was a key piece to this lineup and one of the strongest individuals in the majority of tournaments and the open qualifier that got them here. And Fessor's only played 5 maps under the Monte banner and now coming into the 6th, helping them out at the RMR. Outsiders 3 more rounds away from trying to just get the job done and come through with a very one-sided victory.
Three rounds to go for that. And for now, outsiders will play out the T-side default we expected of them. Passive, careful, avoiding the rifles until absolutely necessary. 3-man stack over to the B side here for the Monte side. 1 man at long, 1 man at CT. Nothing defending short, so they could just rush up right there and get the bomb plant.
It's all about gathering that information. Jame waiting for a slight reposition, someone to move out from those mid-doors area. And you could almost have the idea that Monte have such a gut feeling that it's going to be a mid to B crunch or some execution out to the upper tunnels because the A defense is minimal.
Flashes coming in over towards short will indicate otherwise, and footsteps are being heard here. Red Star adjusting away from CT, leaving his 2 teammates in DemQQ and Joel to watch that crossfire. So he gets back behind the A site on the short. Defensive smokes will come down, and the outsiders will quickly push forward. Flashes in, Molotov sent back against Red Star's position. He evades the flames and the damage being done. Will take some damage. Norbert engages on Joel and wins that fight. Red Star can get one. Doesn't quite see Fame. Does right there. And just about spots Flip, looking for the triple, wrapping in and getting the headshot so perfectly. 15 kills for him, retaking the top spot, tying up with Qikert on the outsider's side. And now Norbert comes in from long, but he's put down by Fessor. Red Star hunting for his quadra in this round. And indeed, he steps up to give Monte a survival basis.
Lovely sequence coming through from Red Star, and I think he really made his name known at one of the previous RMRs. I think back to IEM Full when he was playing there with Fiend, 1 best of 3 away from making it to the major. That all-important victory or lack of against Copenhagen Flames in the best of 3. And we know that both Han and Red Star on that Fiend lineup, moving away from the Bulgarian scene, going international and finding a lot more success. That was a superb sequence there from Red Star.
A big way back into this matchup for Monte. Now they have to follow it up. Outsiders will put them in an even worse position if they take this round. Monte, this will be the start of the comeback if there is one in them. Again, nothing major gain in this early round. Outsiders not opting to press forward until absolutely necessary. I'll take tunnels control, seeing a couple CTs up towards Catwalk might be nice. Those nades coming in against Flit will do a lot of damage, but not get the kill.
There is a third one. How close does that get to Flit? Not quite close enough. Goes up towards the top of Xbox instead. And for Monte, that opening damage could actually reap rewards when it comes later into the round. Long take coming through from outsiders. No one on long for Monte at all.
2 smokes down to that long control, meaning that no one can peek into that from the A site. There's no one in pit and up towards top long so for the CT forces, so outsiders get that pretty easily. And AWP prodding into the tunnels. We'll hope to see something back here. Get some information at the very least. Force Monte into the A stag, which is about to come through with the execution hot on their tail. Run boost for the bomb. Qikert will cross. Jame will get Red Star. Start things off for the outsiders. Fame will now be cut off. Red Star's incendiary just burn that bomb carrier. So 4-on-4 situation with a crucial piece of kit now in the hands of the CT defensive. Fessor and Joel get combining for kills back to the man advantage. AWP and Jame, however, forced to respond. Fessor, 9 points of HP, dead on Flit, and it's all on DemQQ now.
Just trying to see if he could find any level of success. Spam through onto that AWP. Flash goes down. They've got to try and recover the bomb and get it over to the site.
10 seconds. DemQQ is going to lean up here from CT spawn. Jump face, gonna try force split off it, stall for time, gets the harder cover, the spray through, oh my god, DemQQ's caught it, that's enough for Monte. Jame knows he can't press forward, he won't win that fight, and he certainly won't win the round.
You'll take those if you're Monte. You've got to come through with a little bit of luck these days, and it comes up with a jump, realizes, could be on low HP, probably commed over, just spam, hope you can get a couple of lucky bullets onto that bomb carrier, and James playing the post plant. He's right back deep over there at long, wants to try and hold the crossfire, but not to be. His teammate goes down. That's the round over and done with. What a steal from Monte when it looked like outsiders were going to close it.
Oh, Jame. Quick on the responsive, though, is AWP surrounded by pistols. Hero eco set up for him by virtue of that save, and he'll start things off at least well for round 21. But Monte have a lot more firepower to contend with, especially when the execution comes down.
We saw DemQQ sitting on 11 frags from the end of that last round to what happened at the end of the half. To at least know that he was able to get that all-important kill, try and get some confidence back into the young man. One of the youngest squads we have here at the RMR. Outsiders. With the opening pick and now an M4, you start realizing the idea of some upset potential in this round where the steal could come in.
Little over a minute and Warro try lean back in for a responsive pick. M4 has been recovered and the pistol will drop in its place. 4 on 4. Warro backs off but heard footsteps there in the mid position.
Jame thinking about a regroup towards the upper tunnels. Now you've only got DemQQ down towards his B side. There could be a lurk smoke from Fame to try and get them into the XE.
DemQQ just watching and waiting as Fame continues to make noise, and those jump faces will draw attention in from the CTs. Smokes down, DemQQ hearing them make their way up. Fame gets caught, 4 on 3, but he's the solo defender. Back up to get him from the window, and the back lines. Flit wraps around that corner, brings it into evens. The AWP is already watching. And there's only really one man here on the B site. Nays towards him, you'll hear that bomb plant come in. We'll wait for backup to go in for the retake, which will be here very quickly the same. Qikert looking for that engagement. Goosh down, Flit also taken out. Qikert will fall in the end, and it'll all be on Jame and his AWP. Flick's not landed, he'll get out of dodge into the tunnels, outside towards the spawn. The defuse will come through. It will be an 8th for Monte.
Strong composure there from Monte, realizing 3v3, we can slow it down, we'll try and apply some pressure out to that window control. You saw the way that rather than hunting in and trying to drop the bomb, they just allow themselves to play together as a unit, peek on each other's contact. And knowing that that was only an eco round, you got to think about the other side of the coin for outsiders. You get a few picks, you get a bomb plant. With a safety at AWP, you'll be happy with the outcome, even if the round's not successful.
Well, they've closed the gap back to 5 rounds now. So for Monte, they are doing comparatively well to where they were standing at the 13-5. Now it's a case of closing that deficit even more and trying to find evens against the outsiders in this late-game resurgence. It's only a few rounds away for our favourites to take this map up overall, and of course the best of 1 by extension. Norbert prodding in for that body block was heard, so they're going to be aware he's around the smoke somewhere. Did he push forward or did he fall back?
Warrior still out here with the AWP towards the close left-hand side of the longhouse. This is super unorthodox.
Might work out for him though, indeed it does. Norbert, first man down.
A little bit gimmicky there for Monte, and it works out nicely. You can now start getting the idea that there could be a slight push forward and an info play from Joel, and that could recover quite a lot out to the B side.
Few players prodding in towards the short position. You've got Fame backed up in the tunnels. Potentially rotations from Jame up on the spawn angle. He's got a bomb on his back in the AWP as well. Main concern will be that close range engagement. Red Star catching Flit on the A side. Now leaves it all towards the speed split. Fame jump facing, unawares of how close this man could be. Joel taking very little to that AWP leg shot. 99 points of health for him still sitting. Qikert strikes back towards mid and does get Fessor. Looking for Red Star on the rotate back. Might open up potential on the A side, but Red Star will win that fight and Jame will be alone again.
Now, this is a Red Star special that we're starting to get in this second half. He's starting to really show us the goods. Multi-frag rounds, high impact, and I just want to see more of it.
We're able to get a triple to close out this round. 22 frags for him. Tying up with the top fragger of the T-board of the outsiders. Flit up there at the same exact line. The 4th tactical called in by the outsiders to try and readjust themselves. Monte have taken 0 thus far here in this map up. Outsiders tested in a fashion they probably weren't expecting. May have been expecting this one to be a bit more of a walk in the park than it actually is. and may still see the resurgence from Monte. 4 rounds to equalize.
But take note what Red Star did there after that last kill. Had the opportunity of running the double AWP setup and throwing away the AK. He's opted against it, which is maybe something that Monte are trying to differentiate and change up coming into the RMR, because we know Dust2, Red Star loves AWPing. Joel does it the same. You've got 3 AWPers on this team, and instead Monte are quite happy to run the single AWP setup from Warrior2K, who hasn't had a crazy amount of success.
Only 8 kills so far in this map up. Will not extend that against Jame, winning another AWP v AWP battle down that mid control. Warrow bottom of the board for the time being for Monte. And already that first casualty will leave them weakened. Outsiders. They only have that AWP, but pistols to follow suit. If they want to try and change up their own game plan and go quick, this could be where they could catch Monte completely flat-footed.
And I feel like if you're Monte, you have to just not take mid picks, because Jame is just too solid as an AWPer on Dust2 to just always hold from that top mid position and catch you sleeping, catch you off guard. So just instead engage later into the round rather than through mid. We've seen how many challenges he's won out over the course of both the first and second halves with these mid picks.
Smokes down towards that mid doorway. Both sides trying to suppress each other with the information block. But so far, so little has been gained. Outside of that one pick against Warrow, Monte, nothing has been gained thus far. DemQQ standing alone towards the B side and may have to receive the entire force of the outsiders.
This is going to be a tough hold from him, because you're going to get siphoned off from the left-hand side too. Out from mid, he's got to reposition.
Joel can't see anything as smoke comes down. The flash is turned away from, spamming their way forward to those pistols. DemQQ trying to stay alive for as long as possible. Hold presence in the sight, but Fame catches the headshot. 5 on 3, and, well, Monte are out of there. They know that they can't afford to do anything with that. Maybe if they got a kill through the smoke, it might have supported the lone man on the B site, but the fact that they didn't, the fact that they were siphoned off so easily, they basically left him for dead. And now it's a safe call for 14-9 for the outsiders.
And that's such a shame there for Monte, because they've been working hard in these last few rounds. You've got 4 in a row, you start getting a bit of composure, you start getting a round streak, and you lose it. You lose the streak to a half buy. It's that AWP being saved in. It's a couple of upgraded pistols. You feel for DemQQ because you're out in the open. Yes, you've got a smoke down there towards the upper tunnels, but no teammates are there. You've got no assistance whatsoever. He's hoping to get away with maybe 1 pick. If he can multi-frag, the retake might still be on, but he gets nothing. And Fame working around that lurk smoke with the Tech 9 just able to put him to the floor. 14 up onto the board now for outsiders. And you start wondering for Monte, has this comeback come in too late to really make something of it?
Perhaps it has. The truth is that we don't know yet. They found the resurgence thus far, and they've carried themselves pretty highly against the outsiders. The job's not done yet for both teams here. Outsiders have gained their crucial round to break the streak, and now to put themselves within 2 of the win. Monte back within 5 of the equalization, and Warrow finally gets going. All-important pick to start off against Flit. Down the mid control, Monte have control.
You can see that he was slightly wider up onto that angle rather than taking the fight to top mid. And look at this from Red Star. This is confident.
Sneaking forward, they might not even be aware of this. Qikert, back was turned. Did they see him? I don't think they did. He's going to get, at the very least, a ton of information, if not a backstab.
Oh, this is good. And now for DemQQ, pressure relies down on him to slow down this round. Even Warrior could have an incendiary to the upper tunnels to make sure they can't act off of the back of this and go into B quickly.
That utility in from Family counteracted by the main CT force. Red Star making his way forward. He's going to miss the timing against the players in tunnels. Or will he? See the one, see them both. Spray through and taps don't connect, and Qikert turns around with an instant headshot.
Oh no, just when he's done so much after he's been so successful in this second half, Red Star is not even able to find one, and now the information's given up. Outsiders can start shifting that map control back over towards A.
That could have been the round right there for Monte. Outsiders back in control, and once again, 3 players on one half of the map, this time towards the B side. Warrow's AWP set in at long. Now going to have to receive the execution inbound, mostly from short, but 1 man with a late lurk out towards long. Incendiary sent. It's Fessor holding his lone. The CT's rotating back to try and provide some sort of support. Joel is now close to the site, being sprayed down through that smoke. Norba will be suppressed. Joel will get caught. Fessel at long, now making his way in. Bomb plant can be secured. The retake will be set in. It's 2 are seen, but Fessel gets no kills. Fame is low, and they're reduced to 2 on Monte. They're going to escape and save. Once again, it looks like Outsiders are going to get to match points.
Check out Qikert. If he gets over towards that B site into the upper tunnels, he might still be able to drop one of these saved-in rifles. This could be all important to the start of the next round. How much does he get out of it? Does he go all the way down to B? Warren might actually try and fight him in the upper tunnels or reposition to that direction.
Will he expect him to be in from tunnels, though? He's got his eyes completely set on CT spawn, expecting the T's to hunt him from there. DemQQ will look to be safe, and it doesn't look like Qikert will press the issue. But there it is, match point at last. Monte now 6 for overtime. Bit of frustration on the faces of the boys from the Outsiders. Monte keeping their composure for the time being. A bit more of a sigh of relief more than anything else now they're up here at 15. One final buyback for the Monte side. They do drop those weapons. They do get the full guns in. But this will be their last stand.
And this is the experience factor reigning through from a tier 1 opposition side of the Outsiders up against Monte. Outsiders, 1 more to close. Monte, 1 more to double digits. A stack in, a heavy location towards the upper tunnels. You've got Warren with the AWP on the other side.
Decent nade onto Norbert. DemQQ is going to provide the automatic rifle support. Be the first port of call outside of the tunnel. Smokes and flashes inbound. Spray through, catches Fame. Looks to maybe drive back the Outsiders, but they're going to press on. AWP towards the outskirts. Getting caught by that flashbang, but still getting enough vision to catch Norbert. Qikert with a responsive 4 on 3. Damage done to the man as he drives back. Warrior also gets driven into the hands of Jame on the boost. 3 on 3 situation, and Red Star with a backstab. Inbound, seen, and sprays down the wrong man. Flick catches the kill, and the advantage sits with the Outsiders.
Oh, this is getting out of hand. Just when so much was gained, Fessel peeking back in towards those lower tunnels, does deal with Flit, and this is manic. This is just over-peaking from both teams, and it comes down to now Outsiders having the clock. They can relocate out towards long, try and bring that bomb back over, but check out Fessel. He might be able to cut it.
And he got that kill on Flit, so a high HP player being removed from the Outsiders camp. 27 HP across the 2 players that remain. 2 on 2 situation that Monte could easily win with a couple of good engagements. It comes down to this AWP and the AK hitting their shots as perfectly as they possibly can. And Fessel hears them, calls in for backup. Run boost, not quite denied actually. The player gets across effectively. That's the AK of Qikert looking for the bomb plant.
And no damaging HEs to work with or incendiaries. Instead it's just flashes, and Qikert picks out the Fessel!
Oh, that's not good. Caught off guard. DemQQ now with it all to do. AWP for 1 shot, AK for the headshot. M4 just needs the good burst, but he can't see where Qikert is. Has no inkling on Jame, who's watching, waiting for the peek, and he lands it. And somehow the Outsiders come out on top in that 2v2. 16-9 as they take their opening best of 1 of their RMR.
That's a very good performance coming through from the Outsiders, Jay, and it just showed me composure in that first half and into the second. And for Monte, I don't think we really saw them in full force. We might have to wait for a couple more series from them.
We did say that it was all about them trying to turn their own Tier 2 successes into success on the Tier 1 stage, and the Outsiders had them beat on experience and beat from the word go almost. Ultimately...